Hello, my name is Sasha Farbach and you're watching TVP World, and we're here at the Europe Future Forum. I'm now joined here by Mr. Radu-Dinel Miruță, Romania's Minister of Economy, Digitalization, Entrepreneurship and Tourism. We'll be discussing EU enlargement, but also security in the region. Thank you, Minister, for sharing your time with us.
Thank you very much for the invitation.
Let's start with the heavy stuff, the security element. Just last few days ago, you've had an incursion in your airspace by a Russian drone. What is Romania's role in all this, and how concerning is this to your government?
You know, because we are at the edge of the front, it happens from time to time for maybe small meters when drones are crossing over maybe some small space of Romania. What happened in the last days, as far as I understood from the Minister of Defense, is that from the military perspective, the pilots received the approval for putting the drone down, but they calculated all the aspects and they considered that it was risky from the population perspective maybe, and they followed the drone until the drone went out of the Romanian airspace and the NATO airspace without being put it down. I understood that it was a very specific calculation in terms of pros and cons, only from the perspective of population to be affected or not.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And of course, we've had the Zapad exercises also concluded. Those in Belarus, with Russia. We've now had last week these incursions also into Poland. I mean, it's also not the first time that you've had similar calls with drones crashing around in northern Romania, also near the Black Sea. Is this something that Romania can lend any expertise on? Is this now more of a moment for Romania to do more on the eastern flank?
From the military perspective, and this is not my specialty, I understood that they are ready and they are prepared for putting the drones down. They are seeing the drones when they're coming, they are following the drones on the radars. There is a national airspace policy in Romania. We are monitoring. I think there are a lot of trials. As I saw yesterday, I think when I arrived in Warsaw, I was informed that a drone flew over the government building. I don't know what happened finally. So as we can see in these moments, there are a lot of trials, a lot of tests maybe. I don't know, but we are seeing.
But at the same time as well, if we're talking about drones, or looking at this ministry, your digitalization, innovation, I mean, this is also now part of any kind of, let's say, defense mechanisms. We're also developing certain things. How important is that now in your ministry of also innovation as a counter also for bringing new technologies, getting the right kind of skills into really important roles?
It's very important. We are working on this, but we are receiving priorities from the Minister of Defense. So from the military perspective, they are choosing which is important for them, which is not important. And then from the economic perspective, we are trying to see how we can deliver what they are needing. So we are not doing this prioritization inside the Minister of Economy. It's the defense side, which are calculating, which are discussing with the partners, and which are choosing which are their priorities. It's a huge program in Poland as well with SAFE, with Rearm Europe. We received an approval for doing something more than we did before. We are working on this, and in the Ministry of Economy, we are trying as much as possible to product what will be needed for the defense part, for airspace, for military vehicles, guns. We are having 15 plants, factory in Romania. Some of them are competitive, some of them are not. We are trying to match what can be done in these plants by us, or maybe in a joint venture with another private company. Depends for what the Minister of Defense will deliver to us as a priority. And this will happen by the end of this, I think, November.
Mm-hmm. And if I can ask on that, I mean, you're saying there's a lot of opportunity for also joint partnerships, public-private sector. Where do you see a lot of that attention? Is it coming from, let's say, companies from the United States? Is it companies from other parts of Europe? Where do you see a lot of interest coming for developing those areas in Romania?
The interest is coming for all the angles. You know, the SAFE mechanism, it's a clear algorithm who can be part of it. Which are the conditions? It should be a common collaboration in between two countries of the European Union. We can buy, and we can use those money from a company, from a producer company inside the European Union. So these are the mechanisms already established by the European Commission, and we will follow them.
And speaking of the European Union, I mean, Romania has benefited from being a member of the European Union, very much also lobbying for another member to join, which is Moldova, next door. So tell us about your policy in terms of enlargement and how Romania can also be as an example here and a current policy for that.
Romania was an example, like Poland was before. You know, each time a new country will join the European Union, he should respect the conditions which are in those moments. So it is a different context now than it was 10 years ago inside the European Union. It is a war at the edge of the European Union. Moldavia, it's also a neighbor of Ukraine, like Romania is. It's a specific content, and we are looking in that specific content considering the current context.
Okay. And also, I mean, we've now have a different presidency of the rotating European Council, but Poland was quite instrumental in the first part of the year. Looking at partnerships as well, we're here now in Warsaw. How have those cooperative ventures that you deal with, have those increased? How has the work been between Poland and Romania in all this?
I think collaboration is the key. You know, when we are buying more, we'll receive a better price. When we are collaborating in terms of defense, it will be a benefit for both population, for both citizens from Romania and Poland. From my point of view, we should collaborate. We should see which is the differentiation between us and the other competitors, and we should put on the table that differentiator, because that's how the entire European Union is growing, by taking benefits for what is specific in each country. And Poland has a lot of specific things. Romania as well, it's having some differentiators. And I think it's up to us, it's up to our governments, which are collaborating quite well from what I saw in the first these 2 months since I'm a minister. And I'm pretty sure that we will all understand that this is the key. By collaborating, by expanding the collaboration we have, by opening new collaboration in economic area, defense area. In fact, the goal is the same. The goal is the same. The danger is something which is known. It's up to us how, in which position we'll put ourselves in order to alleviate these things.
And in which areas do you see the most potential and also the largest, let's say, challenges in all this, if we're looking at Romania playing together with Poland and other EU countries on those borders?
We are seeing both countries with the same eyes toward Russia. So from the defense perspective, I think we are already aligned. From the economical perspective, there are changes in between the two countries. I saw that the commercial changes, it's increasing year by year. We should see how we can deliver what you need, and in the same time we should understand what do you need outside of Poland, and we can deliver from Romania towards your citizens. So it's a pure commercial discussion in terms of economic collaboration.
And also, Romania sits in a really interesting position. It's really strategic. You have the Black Sea, you're in the Balkans, you're one of the largest in the whole region, also economically. In terms of also, but then politically, if we're looking also more into the Balkans, that's a bit of a different strategy than if we're looking into other parts. How does Romania balance where the main priorities are in that?
You know, being part of the European Commission, being part of NATO, we should be aligned with what will be established in these rooms. And we are following this. We are contributing when the decision is to be established, but after that we are following. So we are taking the benefits from the Black Sea. We are opening new perspective in Constanța, which is the city near the Black Sea. We should take the benefits from the Danube, from both of tourism and economical perspective and even transport. We are taking the benefits from the fact we are positioned in this part of the globe. So we should take care about the neighbors, which is not part of the NATO, Poland as well. So there are a lot of things in common, and it's up to each government how can address these potential issues.
You mentioned also there transport, tourism. We started with defense in an age where things are getting
which is
a bit
not
more...
part of my minister.
Yeah,
but
yeah. But if we're looking also at tourism right now, I'm just curious about sustainable tourism, but in a time where there seems to be more tension, how do you, let's say, square that one?
This government was created somehow, so we start this government in a period where the economical situation was not very good because of some previous decisions. So it's mandatory for us to reduce the deficit. By reducing the deficit, we are crossing over a period when new taxes were generated. And when people face with new taxes, they are not going quite often to the restaurant, they are not going quite often to hotels, so the tourism was affected because of the current situation. When people have less money in their pockets, they will prioritize the money in order to pay the, I don't know, electricity, school, not to go to the seaside. So from this perspective, the tourism was affected a little bit. But our expectation is that the deficit will be reduced by April next year. So now we are crossing the river and we should use our hands to reach the land.
Mm-hmm. So, and if we're also looking at reaching something near the future in the next year, where do you see Romania in terms of also in the ministries that you have, where is the biggest potential, where do you see the greatest success in the next sort of 12 months?
So we have a concrete plan in order to benefit from some resources. We have some rare earths elements that were not explored in the last 12 years. And we started again to explore them. For example, we have graphene, which is a rare element, material. Right now, the entire world is discussing about the artificial intelligence. And despite the monies, the investments that the huge companies are putting in this aspect, the key element is the graphene, which is extracted from the graphene extracted from graphite. We have this. We should be able to put it on the table and to take benefits from it. This is what we did in the first 2 months in this minister, to make an analysis for all the companies of the government companies that are managing natural resources. We want to see where we really are, which are on interest, which are not. How can we take benefits from them? In the same time, we are supporting the private sector by offering some help in terms of really money for some producers. We have a good mix of energy. I know in Poland you also have some problems with the coal. It is a European decision regarding coal. We have electricity, green electricity, but in the same time we have moments when the green electricity cannot be used. And in those moments we should use nuclear, coal, gas, and so on. We started already to extract natural gas from the Black Sea. So these are the things that we are currently working on.
So it seems to be many things, as you said already. It's about cooperation on number one, but also a lot of opportunities there moving forward. Look, really appreciate your time, Minister. That was from Romania's Minister Radu-Dinel Miruță from Economy, Digitalization, Entrepreneurship. Thank you so much.
Thank you as well.
And thank you for watching. It's Sasha Farbach for TVP World at the Future Europe Forum. Thank you so much and stay tuned for more.